2024 WWE Draft, SmackDown selects the EST.
What do we want to talk about?
I am him. I am him.
Hey, this is the Red Carpet Ring featuring TBK, the Turnbuckle King himself. Normally, I know we're a little later than usual, but it's been busy. But meanwhile, we are here. We're going to talk about the latest episode of SmackDown on the 26th. Going to talk about WWE Draft 2024 results on Friday Night SmackDown. We are going to definitely talk about mostly the draft, which is what this episode was about. And talk about the draft, talk about the matches that happened alongside the draft. And then for the bonus round, we'll go deep into the review of the WWE Draft for 2024 Night 1 review. So we will definitely talk about that and get more into it and explain what happened as far as the draft goes. So it's going to be a good one, you guys. Check out everything. But before we get into it, let's see who came into the ring talking about this. Good breath salute. Thanks to you for coming out. Appreciate that. We also on X. We will be on X for the first 15 or so, well, up into the bonus round. And then after the bonus round, we will move away, cut the ties there, and then move. If you want to check out more, come to Red Carpet Ring on YouTube. So definitely we'll discuss that. You don't want to miss out on that. So we are heading into Backlash. And we going to see what the matchups are. Seems like we're heating up for. But other than that, let's get into it and let's talk about the WWE Draft. Let's talk about SmackDown. We'll also get to the bonus round of what went wrong with WWE Draft 2024. So let's discuss it. Now, beginning of the show, let's see. Talk about Cody Rhodes. And this is the opener. Mainly, the main show was about the WWE Draft. Now, Cody Rhodes came out. He announced the first pick, which was Bianca Belair. We'll get to that in a second. One of the people that was drafted was the Carmelo Hayes from NXT. For guys that don't know, former NXT champion, been on NXT for years. Was lastly in the feud with Trick Williams, who's current NXT champion. So he was announced. He told Cody once Cody said, once you come to King, you better not miss. Melo, his thing is, I don't miss. Melo don't miss. He challenged Cody Rhodes, the current champion, to a match one-on-one for not the championship, a non-title match. So that would be the main event for tonight. So we'll talk more about that. But meanwhile, we will get into the draft picks. So after this was going on, it was a good interaction between Carmelo. He wanted to make a name for himself at Cody's expense. And, we'll get to see if we can do that. But other than that, though, we're going to get into the draft. Now, this is rounds of the draft. These are the picks in each round. Round 1, you have Bianca Belair. She was the number 1 pick. And you had, that was SmackDown. Jey Uso was number 2 for Raw. Carmelo, as I mentioned, SmackDown. Seth for Raw. Randy, he was round 2. He was SmackDown. Bron Breakker went from who was on SmackDown. We know he just got there from NXT and signed a contract on TV to go to SmackDown. He moved to Raw. Nia Jax went to SmackDown. Shocking move. Liv Morgan remained on Raw. LA Knight remained on SmackDown. Ricochet remained on Raw. The Bloodline remained on SmackDown, and Sheamus remained on Raw. Round 4, we got AJ Styles remained on SmackDown. Alpha Academy remained on Raw. Andrade got moved from Raw to SmackDown. And the new pick, another person that came from NXT besides Carmelo Hayes, Keon James from NXT, went to Monday Night Raw. So those are the picks heading into that. See what else came to the ring. XL Pro, salute. Salute to you, man. You another guy that's been supporting. I appreciate all your support. Yeah, I appreciate you coming up to the red carpet ring. I gotta get you a wrench, XL Pro. You've been rocking with me for a good minute, man. Your support has not been gone unnoticed at all. So I appreciate you coming out, man. Other than that, see what else came in. Margaron, salute to you. His message say, "What up?" and salute KDH and everyone. I didn't watch yesterday's show, but I did hear that this year's draft so far was bad. Mark, Mr. Mark, thanks for coming out to Red Carpet Ring. I will explain what happened yesterday. I would definitely do that. And you're right. You're right. It was definitely something going on. Something needs to be discussed. But definitely something you don't want to miss into. Yeah, so it's definitely was a bad one, Mark. I'm gonna get into it later. We'll talk about it. Definitely discuss it. I will say there was some stuff we're going to highlight about yesterday's episode. Definitely will highlight that. But other than that, we're gonna get into the all rounds of the draft. You came in at a good time. All rounds of the draft, and like I said, like I said, these are the rounds of the picks. Only 2 people out of here that came from NXT, and also 2 people that actually got moved from one show to the next. So this is the draft here, guys. Now that's the rounds. Now, I'm not done there. We'll get back to more of this, and I will discuss more of the draft round picks at the bonus round. Also, we had here as well. We also had this is Kiana James, guys. For those you don't know, Kiana James is from NXT. She came to Raw. She's the newest member of Monday Night Raw. So that's just to let you guys know that's who she is. Also, we got here Carlito. He turns heel, and it's the LWO. And basically, Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio, they defeated the match with Angel and Berto, but Santos revealed the footage who attacked Lee for WrestleMania. It was LWO member Carlito. They show more footage attacking Dragon Lee before the WrestleMania match. Now, Carlito thought that with this attack, it would prompt Rey to go ahead and pick him as a, Dragon Lee's replacement. Fortunately, he didn't, and it prompted him to use Andrade, and I think that's when he went to full heel mode. But yeah, she looked very stiff, very nervous. Oh, you're talking about Kiana James? Yeah, definitely. This heel turn here, this was so predictable. So predictable. And it was a horrible heel turn. How are you going to show footage of someone attacking someone, then hide right behind him and attack them. I think what they should have did, maybe have the match, a little shadow match, because through the match he could have attacked directly afterwards, or they could have came straight to footage right after the match, in the middle of the match. Disqualification, distraction, whatever it could have been. This was a poorly executed heel turn, and I did not like this at all, not one bit. This could have been done way better for creative sake. I did not like how this was executed as a heel turn. It was so obvious that Carlito was going to turn, and it just didn't make sense how this was done. It was too predictable. It was just terrible. Gilbert said, "Where's the guy that confidently said Ray was turning heel?" Oh yeah, there was a guy here a couple weeks ago. He said that Ray Mysterio was turning heel, and it was going to be a big plan for Ray and how he's going to turn heel and maybe team with Dominic Mysterio. All I got to say about that is this.
That's cap. Totally cap.
That's cap. So, anyway, it just was not a good heel turn. I said Carlito was stale. He did nothing significant in his return. This was supposed to really fuel Carlito as he come back to WWE. He's been back for 6-7 months now. He's done absolutely nothing, not a thing, nothing. It gets to the point where he can't even get nothing. He could get the crowd to the mood, anything. He couldn't get us to walk. We couldn't even walk with him,
For everybody here tonight, who wants to walk with Elias?
Man, we couldn't even walk with him. I mean, it was terrible how this was done. It did not do nothing for Carlito. LWO, stale, all of it. Mark said here, this feud between LWO and LDF is just going nowhere. I don't get why they let Ray get turned on just by anyone. Carlito Hill was poor. You're right about that one. And with that being said, I have this to say.
And that is undisputed.
Definitely an undisputed statement. The feud is boring. Both stables are not elevating each other. LDF is not helping LWO and vice versa. Even Santos, even his thing starting to come down. And he was the one that initially had supposed to have a good heel run. I was anticipating, definitely expecting something better, much better out of Santos. And I think this has done nothing for him. It's sad. It's terrible. Carlito, since this was poorly done, I don't know where else to go from here with him. We really don't acknowledge him being here. We don't acknowledge that at all. I mean, I'm sorry. We don't believe you. We need more people. We do not at all by any means acknowledge that. You're not doing nothing. Nothing significant for that matter. So it's terrible. It's a bad deal, very bad deal. But other than that, let's move along. What you guys have to say? Carlito needs to be released. No more use to him. True. WWE Draft was so mid. It's worse than mid. Ken, my very mid, borderline trash. You guys spot on. But let's talk about what else happened on WWE SmackDown for April 26th. Yeah, this was terribly, terribly done. Horrible way to execute a turn. Now, also, that happened that night. I mean, it wasn't that much to happen. It wasn't that much difference of what happened that night of the draft. I mean, ain't that much to say. It's really not much to say. We had Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. They're going to be teamed up. They'll have someone next week. That's getting kind of stale too. But I will get into the main event. And we know Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles, which is the main thing we'll talk about. they had a handshake agreement. They also had supposed to have a contract in France, because this is where it began at. But I know mainly the draft. They signed a contract for the undisputed WWE title match, Universal title match, undisputed WWE Championship match at Backlash. And then, it was just no physicality. AJ said, hey, we got a history with one another. We never crossed paths. AJ said, respect Cody. Even this segment was whack. Cody promo was boring. I don't see Cody as someone to buy on as champion. I like Cody. I was happy we finished the story, but the story is this ain't the best story after finishing Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. So I'm not a big fan of this. It just seemed like Cody is the bland hero. He's the bland character in a born champion. And he didn't even defend the belt not once yet. And I'm already bored already. It's becoming a snooze fest, and I feel like he's going to start getting booed. So, like I said, him and AJ shook hands before the show for the contract signing. They shook hands after his match with Carmelo Hayes, and I just wasn't with it. And that's the match announced for Backlash. AJ, which they always do. AJ is always he always has to be fed first to the brand new champion. He always got to be the first challenger for a new title. It's boring to me. I'm not feeling this at all, guys. I'm really not. It's just heroes I made to chase only. And you on the money with that one, good Brad. I gotta give you that one.
And I'm awesome!
He's not clicking at all. Not happy. I mean, I'm happy he won the belt, but what are you gonna do with it? Margaret Ron said, good Brad, I won't be surprised if WWE did pipe in noise for Cody. I'm still high on Cody, but his booking started to become lackluster. That's what I'm saying. He hasn't so far. You said so far. And he hasn't even defended the title yet, and I'm already bored. Like I said, snooze fest. And I don't want a snooze fest. That's the last thing we all want. We want Cody to win. We want Cody to go out there and do his thing, but it's just getting very bland. Very bland for Cody. Not helping him at all. It's just not doing anything. I mean, he's starting to become to get on the list if this stays this way.
You just made the list!
So yeah, we don't want that, but that's what it's come down to. That's what started to come down to. Goodbread said, almost forget. I went looking for the super chat button to donate, but this is the other channel. Y'all hit that link button so we can get this monetized as well. Yes, I am currently monetized on the opposite channel, the sister channel, which is Toxic Reign Scandal, aka KDH, the TNT Toxic News Turmoil. I am currently monetized over there as of Tuesday. So if you want to check out the content over there, definitely check that out. And if you do want to send donations here until I get monetized here, still the banners at the top, Cash App, PayPal. Now you guys know I don't promote that stuff, but it's just in case. But yeah, this is lackluster. I am not feeling this at all, to say the least. But yeah, and then also, as I stated earlier, we had the match of the main event of Cody and Carmelo. Yep. They keep having beat people. We are really high. Why they definitely? Oh, yep. Goodrich said, "Why would you get Melo debut? Lose when that's never been okay. Why you draft him in the first round? And then all you had draft him in the first round. You drafted him to go into the main event against the champion. And then the match wasn't all that good. They both was doing their finishes. Cody Cutter, Carmelo going over his stuff. I couldn't get into it. I'm sorry, I could not get into this match. I couldn't get into it. So I just couldn't get into the whole thing. Maybe that's me. I just couldn't get into it. Meanwhile, we got the WWE Draft, all the picks, and I'm gonna give my rating on this. And my rating was 2 out of 5. This was terrible, to say the least. Terrible. This was not a good SmackDown. The draft picks, I will explain to you in the bonus round very soon. This was the same draft picks. This was not even good matches being determined. And then we have next week. I know we have this is all set for next week. We got the face-to-face AJ and Cody Rhodes. That's next week. You got the RKO show, first time ever. I guess Randy and Kevin getting their own show. So this is the next week's preview. I'm just not feeling this at all. Even this preview. Newcastle Brothers versus Authors of Pain. We saw them getting beat up this week by AOP in the WWE Tag Team Championship. Street Profits versus A-Town Down Under. Whoop-de-doo. Great way to celebrate it. I just couldn't get into SmackDown. 2 out of 5. Terrible, 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 and more terrible. And this episode of SmackDown definitely went on my list.
You just made the list!
So I was not liking this at all, to say the least. But other than that, though, guys, this is the next week preview. This is all the matches that are advertised. It's subject to change depending on how WWE, if something else comes up. But this was just not a good SmackDown. It just was not. I couldn't get into the SmackDown at all. I just couldn't get into the show. Maybe that's me. I couldn't get into it. So you guys had to say about it. Marco Ron said, that's what I'm saying, good bread. What would this do for Carmelo Hayes now? He took the L, booked him too early to be going against a champion in IMO. Russell Ken said, I agree. RKO, yeah, I know, right? The Kevin and Russell Ken welcome to the red carpet reign. Margaron says crazy how 2 years in a row past WrestleMania shows have been good. What's going on production? They're just trying to build up for SummerSlam, I believe. That's why I think may be going on here. But this was definitely not my favorite SmackDown. One of the worst of the year so far. And I expected WWE has put on great product of Raw and SmackDown for going on 2 years, except for some moments. So they get a pass, but I still have to give it a proper review. And it's a 2 out of 5. With that being said, we're going to exit here on X. If you want to check out more, come to Red Carpet Reign for the bonus round on YouTube. We'll talk about night 1 review of the draft. But yeah, let's get to the bonus round shortly, and let's get it going. 1 second, we will get there. Yep, historical WWE's don't be dead after Mania. Yep, that's a fact. But we still gonna highlight the key points to this whole thing here. So with that being said, let's go to the bonus round right now, and let's get there. So we are here. We are at the bonus round. We're here to check things out, see where it can go. We are here at talking about the WWE Draft. The main thing I'm going to talk about is we're going to talk about what went wrong draft. What went wrong? I'm also going to talk about problems with night 1 of the draft. Now the problem is we didn't have no great draft picks. Had people get drafted to the same exact show. But one thing I will discuss, one thing I disagree with, I had a problem with, was Kiana James. Kiana James is not a bad superstar. She's good, but I think she got brought to the main roster due to her look, her character. She's okay in the ring. She mostly did tag team, and I believe that she was not needed to be. I don't think it was time to call her to the main roster. And we see WWE do this many, many times. They call people to the main roster prematurely to get to the main roster. Some may work out, some don't. Then they end up either getting put back down to sent back down to NXT to develop on their character and such, and and etc. Or they will release them. And I think Kiana James is a pure example of that. I like her, but she was not ready for the draft. There are so many other people better than her. You have Fallon Henley. You have Rose Suka. You have even Blair Davenport. It's not bad. It's okay too. I think she was not ready for the main roster yet. You still got Lyra Valkyria and others. Or Roxanne, maybe one of those two. Some of those would have came to the roster. Not to say they won't. We do have night 2 upcoming Monday on Raw. I did not agree with this move of her getting called to the main roster. And good rest right here. More jobs to Sasha Banks. Yep, she does have that. She has the image. She has the 401k deal breaker. That's the name of her finisher. And I don't think she was ready to become a part of the main roster. She did a lot more, some more development, in NXT and get better. She's been there 2 years, but I think she was mostly in tag. And she also wasn't even on TV that much. She was on TV half the time. She wasn't even in the NXT Women's title picture, so I had a big problem with that. And with that, I disagree with what WWE was doing with Miss Kiana James coming to the main roster. So that I had an issue with. Was not feeling that at all. Jeff was not feeling that at all. So we'll see. But I'm not a fan of this whole scenario of her getting drafted. It's too early. And there was no proper development regarding what should they do with her next. That's how I saw the whole thing. But that's one issue of the draft. That's one problem that I saw that could have been avoided. So maybe she will surprise and do something good. Then again, she may not. But I don't think she was much needed to come to the main roster now. I didn't get the whole logic behind her. At least I didn't get it. But we'll see what else with the case may be. That was one issue with the draft. Another issue with the draft I had was Bron and Baron Corbin. This was another issue I had. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. Baron Corbin, Braun, they were in a tag team. They were both on Wolf Dogs. They had just won the NXT tag team titles. Braun, we thought was going to be on SmackDown because he signed a contract. We knew he was leaving NXT at some point. So he breaks his team up. And then Braun went to Raw, which didn't make sense to me. Could stay on SmackDown. Then Barry got called to the main roster. Why couldn't they just stay on the same show and continue on the tag team? But I guess they wanted to break them up. And I like that Baron Corbin got a chance, but I would like for him to get a brand new character that would be NXT and be the new NXT champion. Yep, that's true. Definitely stabs at Sasha Banks. She's not as good as Miss CEO, but she will play the gimmick better. Definitely. For the draft, as soon as the rules come out, that's when we already took the L. You already know. You're right. You spot on, Mark. Dominique Sandoval, thanks for coming out. You said the new socks. Yeah, Baron could have been the NXT champion. Could have built the program with Trick Williams. I know they got a lot of big men over there. You got Dijak, you got Josh Briggs, Obi Femi, Trick. Maybe there was too many big men on the NXT roster. Maybe that's why they moved Baron to the main roster. Hopefully they don't botch his main roster run this time. They did before. We'll see what happens though. But I'm not feeling this either. This is something I'm not a fan of at all, to say the very least. Was not big on this at all. It just could have been done much, much, much better at WWE end. But we'll see what the next move going to be for Baron and Braun, since they both are on the main roster now. But I don't know if it'll be worth it or will be a waste of our time. I don't know this. But that's another problem I had with those picks. Yep, that too. Once I heard Roman announcement, it was all downhill. And that's another thing I'm going to get into. Roman withdrawal from the draft. That's another problem. And that set up the whole thing as well. So that's definitely it's just bad. The draft could have been much better. And then this was a bad part of the draft as well. Another problem I had with the draft, another problem I'm going to highlight right now. Another problem I'll be highlighting. Another issue I had was they used to trick us. I think what they did to trick us, what they did was, nothing that was tricked with the whole WWE. And they did this last year too, and it kind of really irritated me. Really irritated me. And I wish they would stop doing this as a whole. This needs to stop for life. When we have drafts, when we have the picks, stop using the cameo of WWE legends. Think we're going to get a great pick. We're going to get a monster blockbuster pick, and we get nothing. So with that being said, stop the cap.
That's cap. Totally cap.
Stop that. We seen Teddy Long come out, make a draft pick. We seen JBL come out, do draft pick. We seen Michelle McCool. We saw Tori Wilson. We saw the Dudley Boys. We've seen it all, and that is enough from there. We don't need to see that every time we do draft. We saw this last year. Let's stop the whole. We gotta have cameo to fool us. They use it to distract us and throw us off, and I'm tired of that. It's just really redundant. You did this last year, and it needs to stop. Because we, as fans, we're getting tired of the whole. We're getting tired of the whole thing regarding how you guys do the draft every year. It's a repeat of 2023 all over again. All over again. This did not change anything unlike last year. Didn't change a thing. In WWE, you already dropped the ball on this one. Bloodline got played 5th round. Yeah. You said Roman Reigns a free agent, still on SmackDown. I think he's a free agent. That's the way I see it. It's just terrible. It's terrible. But yeah, I'm tired of them using the WWE legends to make these picks. And it's not really helping anybody for that matter. That needs to stop for life of me as well. I wish they would stop doing that nonsense. Maybe things will get better as a particular whole. But they don't want to do that though. They don't want to do that at all. But yeah, we need to cut that out. We need to stop that at all. It doesn't make any sense at all. Stop using these legends to throw us off to make it think we're gonna get a blockbuster draft pick, and we don't. We never get that. We never ever get that. So, like I said, if you guys want to change nothing, keep it like you had it before. But yeah, this really needs to. And they got to stop this right now immediately. They got to stop this stuff. I mean, it's not going to do anything for it. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to do anything. You know, and it's not helping us at all by any means. It's not helping anything. It's not doing nothing. It's just a bad case of bad booking. We got to stop that. Margot Ron said, so he said SMA, so I guess that means he can show up any brand he could show up to any brand he could sign. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what that means. That's exactly what that means. Just not sold on it. I'm not sold on it at all. I think it's really dumb. I really think it's dumb. I just don't see how this is going to help anything. But that's one thing. But like I said, that's not the only issue I had. There's more. There's another issue I had with the whole situation that really made it look terrible. I I don't know what direction WWE wants to go, and we talked about it now. Actually, we're gonna talk about it again. We're gonna get into it some more. Another thing that I did not like about this draft either, another issue that didn't make no sense to me. We're going to talk about how it's rules and unofficial rules of the draft. We talk about how Roman Reigns is withdrawn from the draft. He's the only person to do this. Didn't make no sense. How is he exempt from the draft like everybody else? What made it so special? And like Gilbert said, once Roman Reigns started to do that, we knew the draft was going downhill. And then we have these rules here. It says right there on SmackDown there'll be 4 rounds, 60 total picks. Raw, 6 rounds, 24 picks. So there'll be more rounds on Raw. Champions on each brand are protected, and that was the rule right there. Besides Roman Reigns' announcement about being exempt, that's how I knew the draft was done. Once I heard that the brands were protected and all these type of rules, I knew that was it. Women's Tag Team Champions are eligible. Okay. SmackDown first pick Fridays. Then Raw would be Monday. Then roster lock up May 6th. It just didn't make no sense to me when they said it was brand. Because I remember back in the day in the draft, champions were not exempt from the draft. And now it's just a joke now. Gilbert said Jey #1 pick. Do you think he will be Damian Priest? I'm not sure if he's going to do that. I'm not sure about that. That I'm not sure. Yeah, that I'm not sure. That is a good question, though. All my salute. Welcome to the red carpet rain that's coming out. That's a good question. I don't think he's going to be Damian. I think Damian's going to have a longer. I think he's going to have somewhat of a run. I don't think he's going to lose the belt that quickly. But I do know that this official rule was stupid. Roman being withdrawn, then all this championship protection. I think it just killed the buzz, tore the buzz down as far as the draft goes. I think it was just a joke. It didn't make him no sense. What's significant to make him #1? Well, Roman wasn't drafted, but Roman wasn't drafted at all #1. The only one I know came #1. Let me go back to my draft stuff, the rounds. Let's see. Round 5's not on here, but you talking about Jey Uso? Yeah, I don't know what's the purpose of making Jey #1, and he did not, and he ain't gonna win. I think because his popularity with the Yeet thing and everything else, and I think they're just using Jey for shock value, maybe if you want to put it like that. And honestly, I think it made any sense either. I think it was just no buzz. Yeah, make it make sense. It don't make sense to me. But the whole rules thing, it definitely didn't make no sense to me. None. Now, the only thing, I'm trying to look at the positives here with this draft. Trying to look at some positives here. Yeah, stat pattern, exactly. Well, I guess you want to say it's good. Well, it was some good picks. These are the best. We had Nia go to SmackDown unexpectedly, and we had Andrade go to SmackDown as well. Andrade's going to feud with Santos and the rest of the boys and Carlito since he's with Ray, or he'll be on his own. Nia Jax was just in the women's title picture. She was up there tearing it down, squashing everybody from Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch. She was doing it. She get moved to SmackDown, and she squashed Bentley and the middle fairs, as Naomi, everybody in that match against Naomi versus so there's supposed to be #1 contendership. Whoever won got the right to face Bayley on SmackDown. Now it came out of nowhere after being announced that she was on the SmackDown roster. Maybe I could see her very well winning Bayley's championship, the WWE Women's Championship. That was a good pick. But other than that, I don't see no other purpose for that. Yeah, Nia was a good thing. Andrade, I'm not sold on that yet, just yet. I'm not big on Andrade yet. Sorry, guys, not big on that. I don't know what's going to happen with Mr. Andrade. So that I don't know. But I will say that this draft has so many issues, and it's terrible. Marco Ron said a good thing here. Also, I remember how the champions are protected, but the women's tag team champions are eligible to be drafted like that. How does that make sense? Well, Mark, since the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions can appear on either show, Raw, NXT, or SmackDown, it makes them eligible. But the same token, their champion, they're supposed to be protected. Me personally, I think nobody should be protected. Remember the days when WWE Draft, where Raw had a champion, they championed SmackDown, SmackDown champion went to Raw. Remember, think about it. John Cena, who's the WWE champion on SmackDown, 2005 was #1 draft pick. He came to Raw with that title. That's how John Cena came to Raw. Now, it wasn't protected then. Say what you want about Vince McMahon, but he knew how to do a draft properly, and nobody was exempt from the draft, including world champions or any champion for that matter. So that was an issue I have with this draft. I didn't see how this would work. So yeah, they definitely dropped the ball on this one. They dropped the ball. They definitely dropped the ball. I don't know how they're going to rebound from this. I don't see it. Maybe you guys see it. I don't. It don't make no sense to me. It don't make no sense at all whatsoever. How can this be good? So we forgot about the 2005 draft. And then Batista, he got drafted to SmackDown. He was world champion. So we forgot about those draft picks. I want to go back to the draft of those days where we literally had new champions on new brand. And I don't see that happening now. It made it much more interesting. That was just 19 years ago. So they need to get back to doing things that way. They need to make things perfect. I would love to see how they're going to do the whole draft days. Because this is not it right here. It's not it. Definitely not it. And like you said, Mark said something important too. Right, that makes me miss the 2005 draft. The best one in my opinion. I think it is too. I think it is the best draft in my opinion. One of the great drafts. Because it made sense. It made sense. These drafts don't make no sense at all. I mean, we're supposed to get great picks, and we're not getting that. We're not getting no great picks in return. I mean, we get all these dumb moves. And WWE needs to step it up and do better. If you're not going to do it right, they say don't do it at all. Don't have a draft if you're going to do all that. Don't even bother having a draft. Don't do it. Just don't do it. It makes things much worse. Much worse. Yeah, this was the only thing worth for a draft tonight on Friday Night SmackDown. It didn't do anything for him. Yeah, I wish WWE would go back to the main thing. But yeah, this was not a good draft at all. Not a good draft. I would have to say, I'll give my rating on this draft so far. This is the night 1 draft. It usually kicks off night 2. I would have to say this draft is a 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5 for this draft. This draft does not make any sense. I don't understand it. I don't know how this can help anyone for that matter. I don't see it happening. This was a terrible draft. And I hope night 2 they do something better. I really hope they represent the brands better. Instead, Raw has 6 draft picks. I would love to see some different moves. Do not draft anybody if you're going to get drafted back to where you were. That's not a draft. You just make sure they're there. How you draft someone from one show back to the same show? I mean, that's why I say they only need to get rid of the whole draft concept. Go back to superstar shakeup. That could be a possibility. I think regarding how things been ran this draft last year, I think they just need to end the whole WWE draft. I think they need to end it. It's not helping nobody on the roster. It's not helping anyone. It's not helping anybody. Nobody in WWE as far as that goes. I think it's a waste of time. Complete waste. Complete waste. It's not helping nobody on each brand. It's not helping Raw people elevate. It's not helping SmackDown people elevate. It's not helping anyone elevate for that matter. It's terrible how this is going. I just don't like how this is being done. If anything, go back to superstar shakeup. Why does it have to be a draft? Why are we copying off sports with the draft? You don't see NFL, MLB, NBA, all the others who draft somebody from one brand, they drop them back to where they were. They move along. At least majority of the roster, shake everybody up. Something stable must go. And that's what they're actually not like other sports. You can't really draft like that. It's wrestling, it's different. I'm trying to treat like other sports. That's why I wish you guys stopped doing. But yeah, the draft was a bust. 1 out of 5. Hopefully Monday we get it better. Hopefully they step it up. But this was not a good draft. This is a terrible draft. Very poor draft. I don't see how this draft can help anybody for that matter. And I don't see it. But they need to change how they do things. They need to create a better way to draft people. This is not it. And if they think this, you better think again. And that's just, other than that, that's all I have regarding the WWE draft and what went wrong with WWE Draft 2024. This is night 1. We'll see what happens night 2. Hopefully it gets better. Hopefully they have better picks. Hopefully it's not something predictable. All that too. Make the draft NXT exclusive. Yes. Make it exclusive NXT only. Something. Whatever formula's not working, it's not it. It's definitely not it. But I thank you all guys for coming out, checking out the WWE Draft 2024 results on Friday Night SmackDown and what went wrong with the draft night 1. Thank you all for coming out. Next 2 bills will pop up. One will be the next to defeat Becky to win the Women's World Championship. Next video will be Becky the Man, the right choice champion. Until then, it is OUT.